Assalamu alaikum, brother.
Alaikum
You
salam,
know,
brother.
peace to the God.
Yes,
I
sir.
mean, it's
Peace.
good to have you on here. You know what I'm saying? Let me just make sure my speak for a minute just to make sure my volume is good. Just to tell what's your name again, brother. Just let
Well,
everybody know who don't
my
know.
name is actually Brother Rashad Muhammad, but on Facebook I'm known as Boris Muhammad. I'm more known as Boris Muhammad, but my Muslim name or my registered name is Brother Rashad Muhammad.
Okay.
Is the
Okay.
volume good?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yeah, I just turned off my little radio because at first I had my Bluetooth on.
Yeah.
But I just cut my Bluetooth off just now. My radio. But yes, sir, brother. So and you all the way in Canada right now.
Yes, sir. It's kind of cold today. It's cold
What's the
today.
temperature
Windy.
up there?
I didn't check. I think it was -2 or something, but
Y'all
it's
wear
windy. The
coats?
windy
Y'all
makes
gotta
you,
wear coats?
well, today, yeah. Today we have to wear a coat. Yeah.
Oh,
Yesterday was
wow.
a little better, but today's a little
Yeah.
windy and chilly. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
But
Yeah.
where are you
Yeah.
though?
Shoot.
Where are
Today.
you? It looks hot over there.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Today is not like you can wear shorts out here. I'm in the southern, part of the United
Okay.
States. I'm down here in Georgia. You
Yeah.
know what I
All right.
mean? I'm like, not too
Yeah.
far from Atlanta. Yeah.
Okay.
You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? But yeah, man, the weather's beautiful down here. I'm actually not too far from the messenger's home. I'm maybe
Okay.
about 100 miles up the road.
Yeah.
Up I-20.
Okay.
Sandersville,
Okay.
Georgia's right there.
Yes,
You
sir.
know. So yeah, it's beautiful down here, man.
Is there a lot of
You
brothers there
know.
with knowledge of self around your area,
Uh,
around where you live?
like I'm from New York originally, but
Yeah.
I've been living in the South almost as long as I've been, you know what I'm saying,
Uh-huh.
in New York. But since I've been down here, like back in the '90s, I remember when I first came down here, it was a good amount of 5%ers down here.
Hmm.
I would say that I knew, like I could think off the top of my head, it might have been about 15 that I could think of.
Okay.
And the guards would cipher up and everything, and now
Now,
you don't even really, you may see like that I could think of right now, maybe about three brothers I know that I could think
yeah.
of here in, the city I'm in that have knowledge of self 5%. You know
Okay.
what I mean? Muslim guards is, you got Nation of Islam brothers here too that's active in the mosque and, whatever. But
Yes, sir.
yeah, it's not like back in the days. It's different. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? Yeah, back in the '90s, like I said, that was like even when you went to Atlanta, you had Wakil and Dr. Wesley. Well,
Yeah.
back then, True Islam, when them brothers was out there, and like when I was a 5%er back in the '90s coming up, I was in the Nation of Gods and Earths.
Yes, sir.
That's who I originally got knowledge of self with. You know what I'm saying? And eventually, I moved into the Nation of Islam,
Hmm.
perspective of the teachings. And it wasn't until I came down here to Georgia, and I was in Augusta, Georgia, Atlanta, Georgia, you know what I'm saying, like Warner Robins, Macon, around that area.
Hmm.
I met, brothers that was like Muslim gods. They was talking about, yeah, I'm Muslim and I'm God. And, just coming from the Nation of Gods and Earth type of teaching, I was just like, what the hell are you talking about? Brothers in the
Yeah.
mosque that was FOI that, because I think it was a brother, what was his name? Oh man, I can't think of the guy's name right now. It'll come to me in a minute. But he had a name like how a 5%er would have. You know what I'm
Self-just, the,
saying?
the
And
brother from the Allah team.
he wasn't from the Allah team though. This
Okay.
brother was in Macon actually. You
Oh,
know what I'm
okay.
saying? Because Minister Darrell, I believe, is still the minister
Hmm.
out there in the Macon Mosque, if I'm not mistaken. But he had a name like that, and I kind of asked him one day, and he was like, "Yeah, I started off, Nation of Gods and Earth, 5%er, but I
Yeah.
came to the Nation of Islam, but I'm still a five." That's when he messed my head up because he was like, "I'm still a 5%er, I'm, a Muslim, and I'm still a God, I'm a God," and I was like, nah, "What are you talking about, man? That don't make no sense. Like, how could you be a Muslim and a God?" And but long story short. you know, brothers used to bomb me. You know what I'm saying? The
The
brothers in the
Nation of
mosque,
Islam? Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
yeah. Oh man, we was
You
food
were
to them.
outnumbered.
Oh man, not no, no,
Uh-huh.
no. If anything, they were outnumbered. We had the Nation of Islam brothers outnumbered, but I'm talking about in terms of just the knowledge. It,
Yeah.
it might be one or two brothers right there with papers giving them out, or and we like, we gonna bomb them, like all that, and they just start dropping stuff on us, and we like, I don't know. All I know how to do is just quote. I don't really know
Yeah.
how
Yeah.
to, what it means or nothing. What Elijah Muhammad said.
Hmm.
So eventually, long story short, I started to just meet different brothers that were in the mosque. And then brothers used to invite me out to the Nation of Islam Mosque in Augusta, Georgia. Brother Sean Muhammad, Brother Darrell, Muhammad, Brother Dewan Muhammad. These brothers, like I said, most of them were 5%ers too that were in the Nation of Islam. So just with them just showing me videos of, the
Yeah.
Honorable Elijah Muhammad, videos of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, and eventually I just started to say, wow, like, man, it's really the same thing. It's, all along I was thinking it was something different, but I see what you brothers are saying. And so I started beginning to read, just different literatures and doctrines and or plus degrees basically, and even you. While I got you on here right now, I say, thank you, brother, shukran laka, to you, you know what I'm saying? Because, like a lot of your, plus degrees and stuff back in like early and mid 2000, you know, I was reading some of those, like 2005, 2006, 2007, 2008,
So wait,
brother Wakil.
2005, you were because around that time I was more into Seven Fam. I was debating on Seven Fam and also the Farrakhan factor. I think in
Oh,
2000,
okay,
yeah, in
okay.
2007 I joined Facebook.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay, right. I used to see your bills around 2009, 10, 2009, 2010, around that time,
yeah.
because I was really just coming home from federal prison around
Okay.
that time. So that was when I started to see, a lot of like your bills, like 2000. I say like, yeah, 2009, 2010.
Mm,
But before that, I would read a lot of what, Dr. Wesley and Brother
yeah.
Wakil and Justice, and them brothers in the Allah team, and I'm like,
Okay.
man, and it's like, I automatically identified with being a Muslim God after like hearing the exegesis that they gave
Yeah.
concerning what the messenger said, and I automatically was like, wow, like how could brothers have missed that, So, I had like a real interesting travel, brother,
Yes, sir.
a real interesting travel, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, like I said, like y'all brothers, man, y'all definitely, got brain cells sparking, with a lot of the teachings and stuff like that, So, like I said, definitely thank you. I appreciate that, from y'all brothers. Y'all are kind of like mind lighteners in a sense. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I look at some of you brothers as mind lighteners in terms of just, 5% Nation of Islam teachings,
Yes, sir.
and understanding the messenger and what he taught, So that was beautiful. But I wanted to build on really, me and Brother Benson, when I was in Atlanta a week ago, we began discussing the whole prayer situation and, this latest development, of course, with student minister Ismail Muhammad, one of the most honorable Elijah Muhammad's biological sons,
Yes, sir.
how, he spoke out of and said that we don't pray to Master Fard Muhammad. We pray to Allah, and from what I understand, the brother was corrected. Later on, the minister called a meeting and he corrected the brother and made Minister Ishmael come back out and, just address that,
Did,
you know what I'm
did you
saying?
did you watch the live?
Yeah. I seen it. After I didn't, and it's crazy because I hadn't watched it until like just maybe a few days ago. You know what I'm saying? I had checked it out. You know, but I was just hearing other videos and stuff that brothers was making, and that was when I really started to say, man, this is something really, really serious. You know, so I said, let me look into it now to see what's actually going on, because I'm like, yo, you know, brothers is starting to fall away from the Nation of Islam now. Like, you know, I seen the video with brother Elijah Shabazz from out of Temple Number 7 in New York, and it was a video that, you know, brother Wakil and the brothers posted in our, you know, little private group that we're all, you know, and that's why I was like, when you told me you didn't see it, I was like, how you didn't see it, you know? But I think when I tagged you in there later on, it was the brother took down the video, but he was just saying that, you know, Minister Farrakhan said, no, we do pray to Master Fard Muhammad, you know, and whoever rejoiced in what brother Ishmael, I'm paraphrasing, but basically the minister was saying in so many words, whoever rejoiced in that misquote that he said or whatever is no better than a hypocrite, you know. And the brother Elijah said when he heard that, he was like, oh, you know, I don't want to be no hypocrite, because he said him and the brotherhood would always spar, friendly sparring, you know, and they would be like, hey, you know, do you agree with this, or do you agree with that? And brothers would spar friendly. Let me just back up a little bit. Somebody's trying to. Hold on 1 second, brother. All right. Yeah, letting this car out in front of me. Yeah, the brother said they would always spar, just friendly sparring, and you know, he would always tell them, no, that's not what the messenger teaches. And the brothers were like, yeah, that is what the messenger teaches. And he said when he heard Minister Ishmael say that, he was over in Dubai, you know, on a triple, but, you know, he was like happy, like, oh, you know, wait till I get back and, you know, like, you know, so he could, you know, claim his victory, he said, and tell the brothers, yeah, you see, yeah. But when the minister said that, it like hit him to the core. He said, so he kind of like fell out from, you know, the mosque or the brotherhood. He said, I don't want to be a part of it if I know that I'm going to be thinking that in my heart. I don't want to be a hypocrite, so I'm just going to leave the Nation of Islam.
So why do you think brothers like that would leave the Nation of Islam for hearing such plain truth that has been taught for so long?
Yeah.
The Honorable Elijah Muhammad taught it in many of his books, writings, lectures, of which I have. If we need to pull them up later, we can. And I could read a few of them. But why is it, do you think, brothers like that leave the Nation of Islam when you hear that we should be praying to Master Fard Muhammad and not some mystery God? Why do you think that is, brother?
I mean, you know, it's like how we was talking the other night, and, you know, I just said, you know, again, we don't know what was on Minister Ishmael's mind, you know, when he made that statement. And well, not really when he made the statement, but when he was corrected for the statement. Because as I mentioned the other night, you know, just to reiterate what I was saying to the brotherhood or whatever, you know, I know, like, even in some of my videos on my channel, I may slip up and make a mistake and say the wrong thing or quote the wrong lesson or the wrong thing, the messages, you know, whatever. And somebody brings it to my attention and say, hey, you know, no, the messenger didn't say, he said this. Or, you know what I'm saying? Like how I gave the example with you, with, you know, on Brother Ben's channel with, you know, the 15th degree. And, you know, like, and the thing is, when you hear it, you say, oh, you're right. You know, my bad. I meant to, you know, I know that. You're right. Or I can hear that and say, no, that's not right. No. Show me. I don't believe that. Or, you know, I'm still in denial for some reason. Now, again, I don't know how Minister Ishmael felt once he heard the minister correct him, but, you know, we do know that the minister, when he spoke, he came out and mentioned about trials, you know, and how Allah tries the believers, you know what I'm saying? And the minister, you know, reminisced back to a time when you know, the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad told him that he wanted him to speak at a dinner meeting or something with, you know, and then all of a sudden he said the messenger turned right around and said, no, who told you you know, are worthy enough to speak at such a meeting or what? And then the minister said, oh man, but he still persevered, and you know, the messenger later on told him that, you know, you passed a big test. That was a, you know, the messenger did inform him that, you know, in our lessons, it tells us that this is an examination. You know, the point I'm trying to make is that we always know that we're going to be tested. So when I see stuff like this happening in the Nation of Islam, a nation within a nation, and members are now starting to fall away from the fold, it shows me that this is a test. You know, definitely it's a test, without a doubt. You know what I'm saying? So who has been studying? That's the question.
Now, with myself, like in my history coming up in the Nation of Islam, I've been debating this subject for at least 20 years.
Right.
My stance has always been to pray to the true and living God, Master Farad Muhammad. And I would debate believers like a brother Elijah Shabazz, similar mindsets. I wrote a book on it, in one of the chapters I mentioned the divide in understanding, point number 12, that there are brothers that believe that Allah is, this is how I understand it, that Allah is some spirit or mind that came into a vessel, Master Farad Muhammad, right? And then there's people like myself that believe that Master Farad Muhammad is Allah himself, that there is no separation from spirit, mind, or body, that they are intertwined. And I've been debating this subject for some time. So there are believers with the mindset of the originator in spirit form, mind form, coming in the person as like an indwelling kind of. So yeah, there are a lot of believers like that, and I can see it now. Like you mentioned, brothers like Brother Elijah Shabazz leaving when they hear the minister affirm the correction of Brother Ishmael Muhammad. That yes, we do pray to Master Farad Muhammad because that's what the Honorable Elijah Muhammad taught.
Right.
But there's a thing with psychology. There's something called consistency. When we believe something, say something in the public, that we tend to want to be consistent with ourselves. Right? It's like a woman being beat by their husband or their boyfriend. Even though they're being beaten, they still remain with the person that they chose because they made that choice. They want to be consistent with themselves, and they keep on staying with that person. So some of us believe a certain thing, stand on that belief, but because we want to be consistent with ourselves, and yet somebody comes and tells us we're wrong, we still want to remain with that which we have said that we believed all this time. That's why I believe, even though the minister said something that they thought totally the opposite, they're going to remain with what they believe and stay consistent with that. So now that's where you'll see brothers leaving the minister and the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad.
Right. But I mean, you would agree that this is definitely a test in the nation.
It's a test for, yes. There's a test
as the scripture talks about separating the wheat from the tare, and the, you know.
Yes, sir.
This
point
is
number
definitely
12. Point number 12 is the major test.
Right.
Yes, sir.
Right.
So the question is, so did the Honorable Elijah Muhammad teach us to pray to Master Farad Muhammad?
Yeah. I mean, without a doubt. I mean, and see, that's the thing. It's like, it's going to be classified in three ways. One group heard one group didn't hear the messenger say that. So they're going to say, oh, no, you brothers are lying.
Yes, sir.
You understand what I'm saying? I'm just giving you three groups that, you know, this is how I'm seeing it from my vantage point. One group is going to say, no, the messenger didn't say nothing like that. No, he didn't. I never seen that nowhere. No, he didn't say that. That's one group. The other group, they heard the messenger say it, but now how do they perceive that? Do they see it as a spirit in that man?
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? Or the third group, such as yourself, he is him. No, it ain't no spirit. It ain't no, because that third group also understand that the messenger said There's no such thing as a spirit, you know,
Floating
uh,
around in
uh,
space unless it's the righteous minds.
right,
Yes, sir.
right. You see what I'm saying? Man creates the spirit, as the most
Yes, sir.
honorable Elijah Muhammad teaches.
Hmm.
So I think those are the three groups that we are dealing with right now in the Nation of Islam. You know what I'm saying? From the way I'm looking at it. Now, me, what's my stance? I heard the messenger, well, not heard, but I read where the messenger did say, yeah, we pray to Master Muhammad. He's the God
Yeah.
of this 25,000 year cycle, right?
Yes, sir.
The messenger said that. The messenger said he saw Master Muhammad praying, and he prayed to the originator. Right. Okay. Now, the messenger said that we don't have no God on record of living past 1,000 years. So that means that the originator is dead and gone. He's no longer here in physical form on this physical plane of existence. So therefore, during the time of Master Fard Muhammad, he had to have been praying to for that inspiration, for the what's the word I'm looking for? You know, really the inspiration, that zeal, that exuberance, that that the first God had that made him get up and act on what he what he knowledged.
Hmm.
Now he has to act on that, take up the mantle and act on that. So that's why when we was building the other night, and I think I told you, I look at Master Fard Muhammad as like the Kaaba.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That the Muslim gods have to go and circumvent around in order to gain or feed from his knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. You know what I'm saying? But it's the attribute Fard Muhammad. Fard represents something obligated or obligatory. So we're obligated to follow this individual's way that he laid down. He's
Yes, sir.
al hadi, he's the guide, that guided us. The messenger said he's the savior.
Mm.
So therefore, that attribute to me denotes inspiration. It's supposed to inspire me to want to live like how that man laid down that mathematical pattern for us to live. And that way, he's always worshiped, always. But as Minister Farrakhan said, I don't worship the flesh
Mhm.
on the individual, because as we know, the flesh was, first of all, it was half original because it was half Caucasian, half black man. And we know that Master Fard Muhammad said himself that he would live a minimum of 400 years,
Yeah.
just to kind of like commemorate his brother, being in chattel slavery over here in the northern hemisphere. So that's how I look at it. I look at it as it's the inspiration, I guess you could say spirit or energy, but not that I'm saying because the first God is the one that created the spirit, if you will, or that mindset. So following in that first God's path, I think everyone who studies the God, eventually you fall in line with that pantheon of gods,
Okay. Let me
if
say
that makes
something
sense.
in response to what you said, because a lot of people
Mm,
do bring that argument. As I
right,
mentioned, I've been debating this subject for some time, and people would, or believers would, always say that we shouldn't worship the flesh of Master Farad Muhammad. You see, I always
right,
say that I pray to and worship Master Farad Muhammad, and that's why they will tell me
mm,
we don't worship the
mm,
flesh of any man, right?
right,
And I always respond saying, I never said that I worship his flesh. I said I worship him,
right, right,
right?
right, right,
Which
right.
means to me that the flesh and the spirit, you cannot separate the two. I'm not saying I worship his flesh. I'm not saying I
Right,
worship his spirit. I said I worship him. He is both flesh
right,
and
right,
spirit. There is no separation. You cannot
right,
separate the spirit from form, as the minister said, right? So whenever somebody says that to me, they're not really necessarily arguing against my standpoint or what I believe. There's something called straw man. That's straw man, in my opinion,
right, right. Straw man argument.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So they're not arguing against my position. I
Mm,
worship Master Farad Muhammad, both flesh and spirit. That is who he is. He is Allah
right,
in person, right?
right, 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 right.
Yes, sir.
And to that now, when you say in flesh and spirit, okay, now Master Fard Muhammad said, he would live a minimum of 400 years, and then,
Yes, sir.
eventually, he would return back to the grave.
Hmm.
So, but
What do
even
we?
still, we
Yeah.
always worship him because, of course, what he brought is going to surpass, the flesh. So, how does
I guess it boils
explain
down to our
that,
understanding of what worship is and what prayer is, right? There's different levels or degrees to prayer. There's different understandings of
mm,
what worship is, right? To follow, the restricted law of Islam or what Master Muhammad brought, is that worshiping him? You know, is that paying credence to what he taught, meaning that's who he is? Um,
right,
we know that Yaqub is credited with making the devil, although he didn't live that long. The lessons say
mm,
that, why did we run Yaqub and has made them from the root of civilization over the hot desert into the caves of West Asia, as they now call it
right,
Europe. Now, we know that Yaqub was not alive when the devil was made to walk the Arabian desert, right? But the
mm,
mind of Yaqub was in the people, right? Because they were following his
right,
laws, rules, and regulations. And that means that the people were Yaqub in person, basically. So
right,
running them
right,
across is like running Yaqub across the Arabian desert. So Master Fard Muhammad, although he won't live, let's say 400, 500 years from now, he still will be in existence in the minds of the people that he makes new, right?
right,
So that's how I see it. But I don't think we're going to
right,
be praying in that manner anyway, in the sense of worship. He comes to make us into God, the
right.
gods that we once were. He comes to make us a perfect ruler. So I don't think we'll be worshiping other gods. We will be God at that time. And anyway, that's how I see it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm trying to hold on 1 second. I still hear you, but like your voice, someone was calling me on the other line just now, and I didn't answer, and because I didn't answer,
Uh-huh.
hold on 1 second. Yeah, yeah. Somebody was just calling me, and I guess when they did that, it did something to my phone because the volume out, you were loud and clear, and then the volume just went down. Like I can still hear you, but it's just
You
like
can
really,
hear me?
really low.
How about now? Is it still low? Maybe you need to raise your volume up again
If your
on your phone.
your earbuds could see what happens if you just use the regular speaker, if it'll.
Okay, hold on. Do I sound better?
No, I don't hear you at all now.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't hear you at all now.
So how about now? Still
Yeah,
low?
I hear you, but it's like really, really low. I wonder what the hell happened.
Now I hear
It's
you.
strange.
I hear you like
Like I said,
some.
I can hear you, but it's like really, really low.
Oh, oh, I hope it fixes. I don't know how to fix it.
Say it again.
I said I don't know how to fix that problem.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. Yeah, it was playing nice and loud, and then somebody was called. But I usually mute my phone when I'm,
Yeah.
so that way I'm not interrupted. But because I didn't answer it and it went off, then all of a sudden the phone just got really, really low.
Okay. I hope
Volume is
it's.
turned up. I don't understand. Yeah, I don't know.
Well, I don't know if you're going to fix the
Well,
problem, but let me
I
just
guess
quote
we
something
already
on
been on
prayer.
here like, a good 30 minutes. I was gonna say we might have to, conclude
Okay.
for now, because I might have to. What I might have to do is like hang up and like call it back or whatever. I think that's the only thing because I'm turning all my volumes up and it's still not,
Yeah.
doing anything. Yeah. Oh, yeah. But anyway, yeah, we could definitely we I think we at least set the segue. So and like I said, we're in the. Do I still sound loud and clear? You
You
still hear
still
me
sound
good?
loud. Yeah. Yeah, you
Say it
do.
again.
You do
Okay.
sound loud. Yeah.
Now I was saying, that way, the guards could we kind of laid the foundation or whatever. So I definitely want to hear. I see the God Alamo, peace, brother Franklin. Some of the gods, brother Hanif, brother Fard. Like some of the gods can add on. Because this is definitely a topic that needs to be discussed. Very important. You know, but
Yes, sir.
to what I said, just like, laying the foundation and what you said, I want the gods to definitely, add on because out of those three groups of believers or, in the teachings, I'm sure there exists one of us, one of them in each one of us. You know what I'm saying? Somebody has their way of believing it in one of those three ways.
Well, you have to. You have to fall in one of those, right?
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
yeah.
It's just like
So
the
yeah, I definitely
5%,
want
the
to get,
85%, and the 10%. We have to fall in one of those, right? And
yeah.
who is the 5%, the poor part of the earth? They are the poor righteous teachers who do not believe in the teachings of the 10% and are all wise and know who the living God is and teach that the living God is the Son of Man, the supreme being, the black man of Asia, and teach freedom, justice, and equality to all the human family of the planet Earth, otherwise known as civilized people, also are Muslims and Muslim sons.
Muslim son.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir. That's it. That's it. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
So it's like, yo, that's the foundation, man. I want the gods to, build peace, great mind, peace, elder, you know. But let's conclude this, and if
Okay.
anything, I mean, if you're not doing nothing later, we can jump back on later tonight or, another day. It's up to you, but like I said, I'm gonna have to see what's going on with my phone. My phone just started tripping out after I didn't answer that call.
Okay.
But
So yeah,
yeah, if you're not doing nothing later, just text me and let me know, and we can jump
okay.
back on later if you want to.
All right. That'll be good.
All
We can
right,
do that. Yes, sir. All
all
right.
right, brother.
Peace.
So it was good building with you, God, and like I
Yes,
said,
sir.
yo, we gonna definitely jump back on this.
All right.
Peace to the
Peace to the
gods.
gods.